had a panic attack today. Is what it is, you know. I'm under a lot of stress. My root spot. And yes, I do prefer it to be clean. I'm disorganized, but doesn't mean I don't like it. And I don't like the mess. I just, you know, the mess happens. But I like it to be like this. It's more calming. And I am under a lot of stress. I had a panic attack today. Let me tell you why, though. I don't get panic attacks out of the blue. We were at a food court, me and my shelter friend, you know. The woman I talk about, she's my only friend, like I told her today, you know, like if I didn't have you, I would have nobody in person. I'd have my online friends, but I'd have no in-person friends. She went out to smoke a cigarette. I went to the bathroom, came back, couldn't find her. Now, I'm not going to panic at first, but you know, I'm looking around and I don't like crowds anyway, so I couldn't find her outside. And then I'm like, I learned, Donald used to be notorious for that. He would just take off. I learned that the best thing to do if you're lost and you stay put. So I figured I'll stay put right in front of these doors that led to where she went out to smoke a cigarette. Okay, I'm inside the food court, but it's out, you know, right inside, but can look out to where she should have been. It turned out that I had put on my little black jacket type thing, and she was looking for me in the little yellow. Which, by the way, I was not dressed appropriate today, but I looked sexy. No, it was nice earlier, and then it got rainy and cold and whatnot. Oh well, I'm sick of this weather, so I defy it by wearing tiny little things. Like that's what I wore today. It was fine all day until it got rainy and wet and cold. I didn't understand why she wasn't waiting right there, why she didn't find me. It turned out she was on her internet on her phone, and she thought I would see her. She wasn't that far away, but to me, I look out in the crowd, I'm at the doors here, everything looks the same, and I panicked. You know, I'm under an obscene amount of stress, so, and then as the minutes went by, and I started crying, it was like 25 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck, where is she? And I now have an AT&T to-go phone. My mom's obsessed with her phones, and I have my own phone, and it has internet too, and I was gonna call her. Right when I was gonna call her, she saw me. I'm like, what the fuck, we have to get back. We're crying. She knows. She knows that anything can set me off. I'm like, you know, under a extreme amount of stress. Today's what I wrote today on the way there. No, I'm under obscene amount of stress. I need to either start drinking in moderation, I wrote this on the public transportation on the way there, to get that I missed the appointment yesterday, because I was huddled behind this door and listening to, Marion get upset with my mom and whatnot, and I need to either start drinking in moderation or be able to feel male, handsome up in my body again. I'd prefer the latter of the two, but I need something. I'm gonna lose it completely. I need something. I haven't had sex in a little over 5 years. And the so-called sex I was having prior to that with my abusive boyfriend was horrible. Got a Californian, it's called, bikini wax today. And apparently whoever gave me a bikini wax like 15 years ago didn't know. The girl didn't know what she was doing, because I expected to be in tears. I was telling my shelter friend, I'm going to come out here, you're going to have to dry my tears. And it wasn't that bad at all. Got a Californian. Instead of being completely bare, you get this little strip, and the woman did a really good job. She was the owner of the place. And, I'll go back. Not that I have anybody, quote-unquote appreciating it, but I wanted to do it. I felt like doing it. And, have my brand new blue bikini. I didn't need to spend $10 extra to get the Californian. I thought, what the hell? You never know. There might be some guy in the future who, In any case, I did it, and I'll do it again, and it didn't hurt anywhere near as much as I had expected from my experience. Horrible experience 15 years ago. And I said to the woman, I said, there are ways to make this less painful, isn't there? And she's like, of course there are. I said, that woman didn't know what she was doing, because I never did it again. Of course, I didn't have the money, but I remember it being really, really painful. It wasn't that bad today at all. The pain I experienced 15 years ago, I'm assuming, all these millions of women doing these bikini, they're experiencing that pain, and they just tolerate it because it's worth it, or their boyfriends want it that way, It wasn't that bad at all. And apparently, you keep doing it, and less and less hair grows back, and that's a benefit. Because I definitely like less hair doing hair, So anyway, I will definitely go back. It's cool. Talking to my shelter friend, about what I just said, I haven't had sex in over 5 years, full-blown sex. The sex I was having prior to that was horrible. I was in an abusive relationship, and at this point I have no intention of just hopping into bed immediately, like with the first guy I might be attracted to or something. And the thing is, my shelter friend totally agrees with me. I'm like, finding a guy who'll be willing to go slow at first, be willing to do that. That's like a needle in a haystack. She's like, yeah, right, Laura. It's like, they all want sex. They're not gonna do what you want, They're not gonna oh well, just wait, you know. Either find a guy who's willing to do that, willing to not just expect sex from me, to go slow, to you know, to give me all the stuff that I really never experienced and wasn't experiencing with Donald at all for, you know, all those years I was with him. I told her today, my friend, I said, she knows the other thing. She knows. I said, you know what he was doing, you know what? I said to her, truth, I'm like, I wasn't even allowed to make noise during sex, but you looked at me. Like, no. And then I told about what he did when he was doing, you know what, and he would stop when he thought I might be getting, you know, and might cry out or something, because he didn't want the fucking extra neighbors to hear. And she looked at me, and and he would still, you know, finish. It's just that if you stop when someone's, you know, it's going to be it's not going to be going to make you, you know, scream or whatnot. And she looks at me, she goes, that's torment. No, she says, that's torture. Yep. And that's a drop in the bucket, babe. He couldn't stand, like, anyone to be even remotely loud out in public. He's always embarrassed. His mom too, you know, but someone's gonna hear, someone's listening, oh God, leave me alone.